those people, like, I always get comments from like some 60-year-old like designer dudes that have like weird pages, and they're always like, this is cool, but client would never go for that kind of type layout. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Like, this is not for a client. And how do you know
that's so funny.
J.R. Smith like 357? Like, what is this? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jesse Nyberg Podcast. Thank you for watching. Today we're here with Tyler Foxrockett, super talented designer from the UK. If you're on the YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a rate and review on Apple. Get our numbers up in there. So with that being said, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
Podcast appearance.
Yeah, that's definitely for most people. And that was kind of my initial idea to do this, is that I know all these people like from all different ages and backgrounds that are in design and art and different creative fields. And they're people that I think people in the community like want to hear from and look up to and all that. And I've only had like 2 or 3 guests where they've done any type of like media beforehand. And it's usually because they worked with like a big corporate company and did some kind of like talk or something, not so much podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, when you asked me a while ago, I was like, no one even knows what I look like. So I was like, I need to change that before the podcast. I need to get comfortable with being on camera. So I start streaming a bit.
Yeah. I'm sure that's helped too. It's not like your first time doing anything. But
yeah, when I first saw you were doing the podcast, I was like, oh yeah, that's a gap in the market. No one else is talking to all these people and that people want to hear from.
Yeah.
I was like, that makes sense.
And it's like, it's hard because it's like a gap. And then sometimes I think, what's even the peak of this though? Like, how many people are there that want to know about design?
True. I know what you mean.
There may be a gap in the market or whatever, but sometimes I think, is it rightfully so? Is the gap there for a reason? But I think it's been going pretty cool so far. And I think, when I talked to Jack from Album Art Archive, he mentioned the same thing you were saying, where he's glad that he did that because now when he streams and does his other stuff, he's not as nervous because his face has already been on my channel and everything. Yeah,
I was like adamant to not show my face on my Instagram for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't take a photo of myself and not hate it instantly. Mm-hmm. So it was when you first asked me to be on the podcast, I was like, I mean, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But that means I have to show my face, so I'm going to have to figure that one out.
Yeah, it's also like the face thing. I feel like as a designer, when you're posting online, not only do you have the insecurity of like whatever, just what normal people have about posting yourself online, but half the people are like, don't want to fuck up like whatever their little theme they have going on is.
Exactly. Grid. I don't want to post my face, it'll ruin my feed. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because some of the times where I just post like normal photos, I don't use hashtags or anything. It'll just be a picture of me or me have done something, like I'm on some trip or whatever. They like perform the best. It's like you kind of forget that half the people really just want to see what your life is about.
I think especially that probably works with you though, because you're kind of like more of a personality. You do this podcast.
Yeah, that's a good point, I guess. I think it also works the other way though. Like people that don't do it, it's like a mystery, like finally,
true. Like finally face reveal.
Yeah.
Someone on my stream earlier, I heard my dog bark and just put dog face reveal ?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good though. I think even if you are like, I don't think everyone has to be like posting selfies every day or anything like that, but I think it's good to get your face out there and connect, because some of these pages that like they're so established, but at the same time, like it's hard to feel a connection to them, because you don't know if
I'm
it's a
glad
person.
that I have now, because since I have a little bit before I did, but it's kind of like happened at the same time, so I feel like I've got a much stronger connection with quite a few people in the community, and I feel like they're actually my friends now, as opposed to kind of just other accounts that I know.
Yeah. Even talking to people in Discord and the podcast feels a lot more like a friend or whatever, like a different relationship than just like an account. Like everyone I've talked to on here, I feel like our relationship online is like forever different after we've done the podcast, because it's like most people you're never going to talk to for an hour on the
you're like forced to just have a full conversation and be like, right, can we get on?
Yeah, exactly. Like people are it's like you have to record shit just to talk to people these days.
The whole online friends thing, when I think about it, the last time I had friends on the internet was when I was like 11 playing Call of Duty, and then I'd log on after school and talk to my friends that I spoke to more than my friends at school online, and now that's like happening again. And like I speak to all my friends in the design community way more.
It's like there's something about that too, like just having like the whole, you mentioned the gaming thing. I was big, I still game quite a bit, but I was big on it on like console, on Call of Duty and all that, and half the fun was literally just being in like the Xbox parties, like talking, like
just chatting.
It's you need that connection, especially when we were in lockdown. It's like there would be days if my girlfriend was at work all day, or if she was gone for a few days on a trip or whatever, I wouldn't talk to a human for like 3 days.
No interaction.
It's kind of weird after a while. So that was I think another kind of spark for why I wanted to do something like this, because I started doing the YouTube, and then it's like, well, now I'm just talking to nobody. Before I was not talking at all, and now I'm just talking to the internet.
People that I hope care.
Yeah. So at least like with this, there's 2 people that care in the situation.
Yeah, at least there's someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So how's you've been like streaming quite a bit lately. How do you feel about the idea of like graphic design, like streaming and stuff?
I mean, I've just kind of been doing it as a bit of to get my face out there and to be a bit more of a person rather than just a logo on a page that posts art. Do you know what I mean? And it's a much nicer way to engage with my audience, like the really engaged people that come and say hi. Like I have regular people that come in and say hi, and we just chat about kind of design related stuff. And going back to what we were saying about kind of having online friends, like it's nice because all my IRL friends, they're not like, they're great people, but they're not really interested in design, like at all. And so it's so nice to be able to chat with like-minded people about something that I'm really passionate about. So streaming's just allowed that to happen. I mean, it's only small at the moment, but it's like, it's kind of nice at the same time. It's like 15, 20 people, few of them chatting.
That's
and
a
just
good
working
small
on some art.
too.
It's nice.
At least you're not like,
it's not no one. It's not like just
completely.
3 people and no one's talking. Yeah,
I
did that before.
That's the hard part. I think for most people, it's like at least you had that big kind of base to take over from Instagram.
Yeah. Because I did actually before, when I was like in a down phase of my design Instagram, because I'd always like juggle between getting really addicted to video games and just not posting on my design account, and then going back to my design account and getting addicted to that and it going well, and then a new game would come out. And then while I was playing a load of Fortnite, I started streaming Fortnite.
Me too.
Like when it was the big game. So obviously I'm never going to get a career in that because Ninja for one. Like,
it's funny.
So I got affiliate from streaming Fortnite.
Exactly, me too.
I got affiliate from streaming Fortnite, and then just like was like, why am I streaming Fortnite? I'm going to stop this. I literally got affiliate, and the day I got affiliate, I never streamed again. And now my account's blown up. I'm like, oh, I've got this affiliate account. I guess I'll just start streaming on it with some design stuff.
I always tell people, because I'm all PC now, and like that's where I do all my gaming and design work and stuff. But I always tell people, I got affiliate streaming Fortnite Twitch off my Xbox One using a Kinect like webcam. Oh my God. So if I could do that, then I'm sure you could do your graphic design and get 3 average viewers or whatever it is. It's very easy.
Streaming on the Kinect.
Yeah, it was like I had like brilliant. A lot of times I'd have like 11 or 12 people though. That was like my peak, and it felt pretty fun. But it was the same had the same mindset as you. It's like, where am I going with this? It's popular, so you get people wanting to watch, but it's too popular that it's like you can't even break into that market. It's just insane.
Also, I felt like with it, because I enjoy video games as like a kind of break. Mm-hmm. I was making video games into like something that I was trying to do as like almost like a kind of job.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't, and I enjoyed playing games less. Not that this is design related. This is a design podcast, but who cares? I was just like not enjoying playing games because I was like, I need to be streaming in order to play games because otherwise I'm not making progress. So then I was like, this isn't the combo.
I mean, I do that same thing with like specific game stuff, design stuff. Like I have like, my brain is like forever tainted by like capitalism, where like everything I do, I'm just like, how can you monetize this, or how can you turn this into a job? Like all my hobbies get perverted by like the idea of someone will tell you, so you'll start a hobby and someone will say, oh, you should sell that, or you should do that. And you're like, oh yeah. And then you try it and you're like, no, I ruined the hobby, you know?
Now it's not fun. Now it's another task that's on my checklist. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I stopped streaming Fortnite, and end of that story. Moral of the story, don't try and live stream Fortnite.
And that was, when you were doing that, was that kind of before or during, like you saw this big kind of rise in your Instagram?
That was way before. Yeah, my Instagram growth's been ridiculous, to be honest. It's basically all this year, all since March. Mm-hmm. I started my account back in like 2019, maybe mid 2018, quite a while ago, and I just one of my friends was like, oh, look at this designer, he posts every day, and I was like, that's so cool, I love that. That's just like a nice little thing to do every day. Not that nice anymore, but to begin with, I was like, yeah, that's cool, I'll do that. So I started doing it, and like 3 years later I had like 3,000 followers. And then in March this year, my account just like went from 3k to like 30k in a month.
Wow.
And it's just kept on going. Cause I think it's because once I started getting a bit of growth, I was like, right, I need to make the most of this. And I would post a design and then a reel of me creating that design every day for like a month.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep that up, but it was worth it for the growth that I got from putting the effort in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of advice or like ways that people do things, whenever they talk about them, they're like, this is what you do, but then they always say like, don't do it though. Like it sucks, you know? Because like I feel the same way. Literally. I've been doing reels, and it's like I've been trying to do that thing. Maybe every 5 posts, I'll do a reel of one of them as like the quick like how it was made like type of thing, like you were doing. And
even though it's complete bullshit and actually it takes way longer, and you stare at the screen for ages. You make it look really easy. It's just absurd because it'll be like the reel of that will get like 10,000 likes and the post will get like 500, you know? And it's the same thing in essence. It's just showing anything, you like, I would say the reel's worse because you don't really get to look at the art for a very long time. You're just looking at someone moving shapes around a screen.
It's weird. I think it's more entertaining for non-design people. That's what I think it is.
I guess it's kind of like those I guess the same appeal as those kind of satisfying videos where you kind of see something getting built or something. It's like you see the process, not that it's
also
true.
When you're not it's like when you know nothing about like, and not in a bad way, but when you know nothing about like design or art in the sense of like how things are made in programs, sometimes when you look at something, you may not know that it was like difficult to create. You may just see it and think that's pretty cool. But if you see someone make it and you think that that's impressive, you may think like, wow, like that actually took like skill or whatever.
You put more respect on it whilst watching something that you don't understand and then seeing the outcome being like, how did they do that?
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like most people, I feel like it's been talked about like a lot now, and especially with the official Instagram people talking about it, and like just different people in the design and like art world, where like reels seem like the really only thing to like get reach. That's like organic and not like not, you know, super spammy or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, you see the odd account that does like crazy well on just posts.
Yeah.
Like they just like get the luck of the algorithm and their posts just get crazy likes and they're getting crazy followers and all they're doing is just like posting every day or so.
Yeah.
But I think realistically, yeah, Reels is...
Realistically?
I mean, it's the newest thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the newest thing, so it's, I guess, the thing that Instagram are pushing the most.
And they're trying to like be everything. Like their IGTV is trying to be YouTube. Their Reels are trying to be TikTok. They stole the stories from Snapchat. Like they pretty much, all they do is improve on the things that like don't matter.
Other people invent, basically.
They should work. I don't know. Well, like it's sad. I heard the like they have those like, I don't know what they're even called, but it'll be like a podcast type scenario like this. And it'll be like the guy from Instagram, like talking to some tech like lady. And he was saying like, everyone's been like clipping it or whatever, but he basically said like Instagram's no longer a photo sharing app anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
I saw that.
What the fuck is that?
I was like, wait, but that's my life.
Yeah. It's just,
what am I gonna do?
It's weird. And I talked to Elliot about this. Elliot is a cool guy on Instagram, and he said he said something like along the lines of like the best way to be a graphic designer these days is to make video or like make video content or something, because it's kind of true.
Yeah.
And we all have to learn it, and
there's enough people posting their daily design. You need to do more basically now.
And I think it's true because like obviously you've seen it work with your stuff and I've seen it work with my own stuff. And, you know, for a while I felt like on Instagram specifically, a lot of the trends and styles were becoming played out in my opinion. And like I would see the black background, like posters and album arts and everything. And some of them were like super good, but sometimes like you'd look at 10 different things and for all you know, they could be from like the same person, but they weren't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, there's always like, it's just once something becomes popular and everyone thinks it's cool and everyone sees that it's working, then everyone's like, oh, I'll do that. Yeah. So I guess it would work the same in any industry really. Just the one that we're looking at closest. We see it.
And I feel like trends, like the way I look at them is like I fall into traps of trends all the time. Like I'm not above this, what I'm saying. So it's not like,
oh no, same.
I'm throwing jabs at myself also.
Yeah,
but,
no, I mean,
I look at it as like a short-term solution, you know, because it works. But then if you have your own thing, the long term is better to have your own thing, because once those trends like die, you were never attached to it. So you're still going on your own, like, kind of other trajectory or whatever it may be.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to talk about trends, the most recent one, gradient.
Yeah. Gradient
life
humans.
Quotes. Yeah. Did you see Jack's stream today? He did 100 gradient human posters.
Yeah, I heard him talking about it, but it was too early for me to watch.
Oh yeah. It was like you were probably...
I'm not going to get up at 6 a.m. to see him make gradient memes.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah,
that's
like,
understandable.
I guess you were, how does that feel like? Because that trend has become like the new like plastic wrap or like vinyl texture.
There's people that do it well, and I feel like own it and it's their thing and they should continue to do it forever.
Yeah, like Ed Reicha.
He's like, his work's amazing.
He's the original gradient human.
Yeah. And so when you say things like that and say it's a trend, it's like, I always feel bad because I feel
for
like...
those people?
Yeah, because he did it first.
Well, that's like a trendsetter, I guess.
Yeah, trendsetter, I guess. So that's actually, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad
anymore. Do you feel about being... like, you've obviously dabbled in that, like, in it for a good while on your page.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Things.
I'm prone to picking up trends because I see them performing and trying it out. I mean, it was fun, to be honest. I just kind of saw it as a win-win. I was like getting involved in a trend that was clearly performing quite well. And also just learning and experimenting with a new style that I hadn't done before. So I thought it was great fun, but I did get bored. I got bored of doing it. And I'm glad I'm not doing it so much anymore, but it's still like, I feel like when I do go to do something that's in that style, I'm much more capable now than I would have been before. So
yeah,
but I didn't want it to become the only thing I do, because I didn't think of it. But I just don't think it's my place, not my thing. So I don't want to make, I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also it's like, I guess if you're doing a trend working on something that looks like a trend that's outside of, let's say, what you normally do, it's almost like a safe way to experiment, because some people are afraid of experimenting, because if you experiment too far, it's like, people might not like it and you might be like disappointed, right? But if you're experimenting in a trend, it's like, you get like exactly an ego boost in a way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people DM me like I was part of creating that trend just because I have a lot of followers, but I really don't think I was. I just think that I was doing it as well, and people just see my follower number and think, oh, he must have done it first, but I didn't. It wasn't me. I just was playing around and joining in the trend because I thought it was fun, and I got some growth out of it.
Yeah, that's interesting to think. Like, I never really looked at it that way. Depending on like someone's, I guess, presence or like size online, if they're associated with something, like people may think that they're like part of the origin of it or whatever.
Yeah. Which I kind of felt bad about because I don't want to take any credit. I mean, I guess I did probably make some nice stuff in that style, but I was inspired by the people that were making cooler stuff.
Yeah, that's good. And I mean, I don't think people usually are like honest too. They're not going around saying like, for the most part, people are cool online. They're not saying like, this is my thing. Yeah. Like, I invented this. And it's funny one's claiming it,
but it's like
some people claim stuff that.
People.
What was that?
I see people and I'm like, that's your thing.
Yeah.
They don't have to say it, but that's what I think. I think it's your thing, and that's what I want to believe. So.
Right. It's like a kind of silent agreement, you know?
Yeah. You don't have to say anything, but it is your thing.
So I think I've heard you talk a little bit about this on like some of the Q&A stuff with Jack and things, but
Q&As.
How did you kind of like, I guess, can you give me a little bit of origin on you, like as a designer, like how you got into graphic design and everything?
Well, that would go back to us talking about Call of Duty. Back when I was like 11, playing Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox, making clans. And my favorite part of the whole, like, you know, when like FaZe Clan and all that, like, we're just starting out and they were just like Call of Duty quickscoping
montages,
all that stuff. I would just make clans with my friends, and then I would just keep making new clans once I'd done all the artwork, because I was like, well, I'm bored of the clan now. I've made all the artwork, so I have to make a new clan just so I can make the new YouTube background and the logo. And it ended up costing me quite a lot of money because I'd always change my gamer tag.
Yeah, it was like $20, right? Or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And I was talking to my friend about it yesterday. I can't believe they actually charge you money to change your name.
I know, that's like a con.
But back to what you were asking. So I just kind of started teaching myself Photoshop through YouTube from when I was 11. Just on like some shit little laptop. Doing a bit of like Cinema 4D, 3D text, getting some lens flares, bit of smoke, all
like
the cool stuff.
All the machinima and like phase stuff.
All the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then since then I've just kind of I just used Photoshop for fun ever since. And then I went to college, which is high school in the US, so sixth form college here. Took graphic design and photography and history. History was shit. The other two were good. And then I didn't go to university, and I went into a job for a retail company doing as a graphic designer. Yeah. And I've just recently gone freelance.
Okay.
So yeah.
It's always like
really recently.
College is not like the way when I say college, I'm talking about university. So I always get confused. Like your college is like high school.
Yeah, it's like high school, yeah.
Okay, so you had graphic design in high school. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's like high school.
You're like under 18, right? Most likely.
Yeah, 16 to 18, I think. I was doing, graphic design and photography.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, when I was in the later half of high school, we still had to do we didn't get to do what we wanted. We had to do history and math and all the way till you go to university, right?
So really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think you guys, Europe and UK have it a bit more figured out.
Yeah.
What was that?
I mean, I don't know. You don't get to choose until you're 18?
I mean, I guess the age isn't an issue, but you don't get to choose like you have electives, which are like classes, but if you choose graphic design or photography as like one of your electives, it's kind of like, oh, you just want to fuck around. Like you don't want to do like any actual work, you know?
Yeah.
It's just true. Like a joke, but I was like taking graphic design in high school and everyone that was in there just wanted to make like screen print shirts like of like their skate little companies and all this shit. And like I was the only one that ever was like trying, and like everyone was just like, wow, you tried, like you could just get an A if you do this like bleach dyed shirt or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, it's pretty fun. And they were like, I guess this like I don't know about this.
You're like, I'm gonna have a podcast, guys, so just let me try.
Just let me try that 6 years from now, maybe it'll matter. That's pretty cool though, because I feel like your like style is pretty defined, and you have like a good sense of like typography and layout and texture and everything. And I don't think that like I'm not a huge advocate for university, but I definitely think I learned like a lot of fundamentals there. So what you doing without that, like it's like just further solidifies like how it's kind of hard to make an argument to go anymore, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if I went, I'd be in a similar, maybe better. I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I wouldn't be in a worse position. I mean, I guess I would have student debt. So if you count that as a worse position, then maybe. But yeah, I mean, you could go if you want to. You have fun. Design's fun. But you don't need to. It's not essential. Yeah, I mean, but I would say that quite a lot of universities in the UK are kind of directly connected to quite a lot of design companies. And a few of the unis that I went to look at when I was still deciding if I wanted to go, they would like that they had a pretty good percentage of graduates would like get a job straight away. So it's like if you want security, if you want to go there and have a pretty high chance of getting a good design job straight out of it, then that would be a reason to go. But if you want to freelance, then you don't need to, unless you feel like you need the knowledge and you need to learn more.
Yeah. I almost would, I hate to say this, but some of the people I went to school with, I'd almost make the reverse argument that them being in school gave them a not as good of a chance of getting a job at like a cool agency, because the schoolwork was so rigid and like not confined and like just pleasing the professor, that like there wasn't a lot of experimentation that you see like we see online. Like I didn't know shit about like fucking textures or anything, black market, like any of that stuff. Like you would never learn that at school. It's like you're learning about like these old white guys from like the 30s doing like press type and shit. And there's something about that like you need to have a balance of knowing the rules and being able to break them, and also not being, you don't want to be like too wild where like you don't have a method to your madness, but you don't want to be so careful that the employer or the client looks at it and it's like, I can get this anywhere, you know? Yeah,
I know what you mean, actually, because with a creative subject, it's kind of like, there's not a set way to do it. There's not a set way to be good.
Right.
It's just down to how other people interpret what you've created. So yeah, a lot of it is, you need to know how to experiment. You need to know to take risks. And yeah, like you're saying, when you're getting educated, it's like, if there's a curriculum to taking risks, like I don't even know how that would work. I know what you mean. My college work it was okay, but I had a lot more fun designing since I left college. Being able to do what I want, but then that's kind of more art, isn't it, than design, if you're doing it for yourself, I feel like.
there's been like there's like a lot of takes on that. I feel like nowadays, when it's like, it used to be like you were proud to say design wasn't art. You're like, I'm solving a problem, like client work, you know, logos, like this isn't art. Art's for yourself, design's for someone else in a sense. Yeah. And now it's like, I feel like a lot of younger people have the mindset of like, that sucks. Like, I want design to be art, you know, like we don't want it there to be there is no difference. And I think I live somewhere in the middle. I don't know exactly where I feel. I think you can't just do whatever you want if it's like a client project. I think that doesn't make you a good designer doing whatever you want when that's not what the project calls for, you know?
I guess for things like album art, I guess you're kind of designing art to a brief. Or it's kind of like the middle ground. It's like because the album artwork is art.
Right.
But you're working to please someone else's brief, so it's kind of design in that way.
Yeah.
So I guess that's like a middle ground. But then, talking about like design is solving a problem, and art is just kind of creativity, doing what you want. I get quite, I haven't so much recently, but I get quite a few comments on like the designs that I post, just saying like, what's this for?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I just made it because I think it looks cool.
Yeah. See, that's where those people make me think like, fuck this, art is design, you know?
Yeah, because it's not for anything. It's for posting on Instagram because I like it.
Instagram's the client.
It doesn't fix a problem. It doesn't. I just like what it looks like.
The only problem it fixes is like giving me gratification if I get a certain amount of engagement.
Yeah. The only problem it fixes is I get to know that people like me.
Yeah, then it just creates another problem because if they don't like you,
no, you need to get more likes next time.
Yeah.
Or you're a bad designer.
Those people, like, I always get comments from like some 60-year-old like designer dudes that have like weird pages, and they're always like, "This is cool, but client would never go for that kind of type layout." And I'm like, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Like, this is not for a client. And how do you know
that's so funny.
J.R. Smith like 357? Like, what is this?
Oh, so funny. Yeah, I love it when people comment on your stuff like, that's good, but what you could do is you could increase the spacing between the letters, because I would say at that rate, like, it's not readable enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, have you seen the font I'm using? It's unreadable anyway. It's just visual.
Yeah.
I can't read what it says. I can't even remember what I wrote.
I want to get like 10 of those like type of people and just only show them like the crazy like acid graphics, like tree branch text where you can't read anything, and just be like, what is this? Can you read this? And
this is not functional. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. If you put this on a billboard, you may not be able to read it. And it's like, it's not on a billboard. It's living on a 4-inch screen on someone's
It's just phone. On my Instagram, man. I'm not like, I didn't ask.
Yeah. It's weird because I also live somewhere in the middle ground of that argument, where it's like some people say no unsolicited criticism, but then other people say constructive criticism is good, you know. But I think the way I have a problem with it is when the criticism is from someone that I don't even think knows what they're talking about in that sense.
Yeah, so like, and also when it's irrelevant criticism, when they're like, you're putting this design that I purely made because I think it looks cool just for Instagram into some client brief that doesn't exist and therefore doesn't matter. So you like, why are you judging it on some random made up brief that doesn't exist?
I always see, cause like, you know how Elliot will post all these like jokes about like, you know, I don't use Illustrator and all this. Like, it's fun sometimes to look through the comments and see all these guys that say like, well, once the client needs a vector artwork, you're going to be screwed, buddy. And it's just like
it's a joke.
Yeah. They don't understand like irony and sarcasm.
I get comments like that. People are like, is this an Illustrator or Photoshop? And I'll be like, it's in Photoshop. And they'll be like, you should really use Illustrator. It's way easier. And I'm like, you can use Illustrator if you want to. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Yeah,
it's good that I like those people are kind of my favorite at the same time, because it's just funny to see. What we were talking about kind of like the gradient stuff, and I've seen you do a lot of different styles throughout even I think maybe 6 months or so, like you've had the kind of different layout shapes, like
that
similar to like
basically what blew up my account. All that
dude like Jacob Hutch, he does that a lot, like that kind of shit too. And then I've seen you do the more gradient stuff without like the humans, just kind of texturizing. And now you're kind of doing, I would say, like a blend of like abstract imagery and like layout. And what kind of inspires you to like either go to something new or switch it up like that?
I get bored quite quickly. When I first started doing that layout, every day I was posting like basically what looked like the same design but with a different color and a different photograph to be critical of myself. Yeah. But when I was doing that, I was like, oh cool, I found my style. This is my style and I'm going to post this forever. And then after like a month or two, I was like, I hate all of them and I never want to do it again. So I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just designing them for engagement because I know they perform well. I'm not designing for the right reason anymore. I'm not making them because I like them. I'm making them because I've made them for so long that I feel like I have to. So I just stopped making them. So it generally is when I get to that point with a style that I'm exploring, that it's like I'm not ditching it forever. I'm just like, I'm happy with how far I've gone with it. And it's time to try something new because otherwise I'm going to go insane. Yeah. It's kind of nice to look at it as like, it looks kind of like a progression, it's like a chunk, on my feed. Like different chunks of like, this is like how old school artists, they'd have like eras. They'd be like, this is his blue era or whatever. Yeah, that's true actually. Only be in blue. So it's not a bad thing. And I used to be like, not embarrassed, but kind of like, I'd look at other designers sometimes and I'd think like, damn, I wish I had like a style. Like this guy is like this, like, you know what you're getting with this, and it's like very good, and it's like, but it also all cohesive. And then I started to think about it positively in the sense is like, since I don't feel like I have this refined style, no one expects anything of me. Like no one gets upset when it's different. No one's like, well, that's what I got to with doing those layout things. I was like, I'm just done designing this because I'm scared to do something else. And that's definitely not the way you should be making stuff. Yeah. I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Oh, that's annoying. You just interrupt me if you remember. No, I'll interrupt you if it comes back. I always feel like I wonder how styles and like how design would progress for each individual if like vanity metrics and things like likes and engage, if they didn't exist, like if there was no way to know what did well or not, like if you just put something and all you saw was like, I guess nothing, right? No views or anything. It's just like you only have followers, right? Let's say. I wonder if people would be more prone to switch it up more often because there's nothing to like say that this worked other than their own opinion, you know? Yeah, no, definitely. I think likes are good. But I also think if you don't have the right attitude towards them, they can be quite bad and quite unhealthy. If you're a person that posts themselves on Instagram for your own self-worth, and if you're a designer for how you value your work and your art, because I mean, I'll post the design one day and I'll like it and it'll do really well, and then I'll post something the next day that I'm like, this is new. I really like this. This is fresh. This feels good. I'm developing my style. And then it'll like do I mean, I don't want to say shit because people will look at my likes and be like, oh, why are you complaining? You get good likes, but like not as good. Like, you know what? When you like get to a certain point, it's like, you know, anything below that point is terrible because you've reached that point, and it's. So you'll post something next day and it just won't do as well. You'll be like, what? It's just not. It's demoralizing. Yeah. But I've got better at that recently. Since I've started caring less about posting to get more likes and just caring more about posting stuff that I like. Now I'm like, when my account first started blowing up, I was like addicted to checking the likes. I was like severely addicted to just looking and making sure that everything's performing on. Like, oh, that's even better, and that's even better. And I obviously, because my account was growing so much and likes were generally going up because all my reels were doing really well, it was like, this is great. This is infinite. This is going to go on forever.
Yeah.
And then it slowed down a bit. And when it first slowed down, I was like, oh, it's over. I'm going to have to get a full-time job again.
15 minutes of fame is up.
Yeah, no. But now I've realized that I'll post something and I'll just let it go, and I'll look at the likes like a day later and be like, cool, got that many likes. I like it. So time to make another one.
It's a damaging like mindset too. Like I'm glad you said that whole thing about like, oh, there's this threshold right now that I'm here. This is the X amount of things I expect to receive. When you're smaller, it's like, it just shows that you like, if you have that mindset, it goes forever. You could have 1 million followers.
Oh yeah, no, you'll never like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just fucked it. It just grows with it, you know. And you're just you have to not do that.
You're never happy. That's not a very good quote.
Instagram, you're never happy. That's like the
that's not what tagline. No. No, but you're always, I mean, it's a healthy thing to be. It's a healthy thing to not be like, cool, that's enough, I'm done now. Like, it's good to always be aspiring to get to the next step and improve and grow and in whatever aspect of life. But it's important to look back and appreciate that all those things that were once like a goal that you thought you'd never reach, you've now surpassed completely, and you've just forgotten about because you're constantly focusing on the next thing.
Yeah. It's good to look back and like be grateful. Like when I was in college or university, if you would have, a lot of the people I've talked to on the podcast, I had looked up to since then. I had been following them and you know, people like Draplin, Harry Vincent, people like that, and like Dan Barkle. And now that I've chatted with them, it's like, I'm like, yeah, it was cool. Like we're kind of friends now, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I would have had like my
if you
little
got told
mind
that
blown,
you were going to be friends with them, you'd like lose your shit. Yeah.
So it's good to look at it like that. You know, if I would have also told myself I'd be supporting myself freelance without any like job already, then I'm after like a 2 or 3 years out of university, I'd be like, nah, that takes till you're like 30, you know, or 40.
Yeah. I'm literally in the exact same boat. I'm like, is this real?
Yeah.
Am I already doing it? Cool. But I don't, well, recently I spent more time looking back and thinking that because it's important to do, but it's easy to just go, no, I just need to do the next thing. I need to do better. I need to do better.
And like part of that, a small amount of that's healthy because it's like a drive and it's like that chip on your shoulder, kind of like you don't want to be too
content and
complacent or whatever. But if you're too much, it's like you're never going to enjoy anything ever. You'll just die and be like, oh, I wish it was better, you know?
Yeah, you're never happy. That's my quote.
Yeah, that's going to be like the clip for
title of the podcast.
how to never
Studio,
be happy.
You're never happy. Yeah,
do you get quite a bit of like commissions or freelance work from, or are you mostly just doing like the Instagram posts and prints and assets and stuff?
I do quite a lot of commission work actually. Yeah. My main income is my asset shop and commissions. Yeah.
And what kind of stuff are you doing a lot? I feel like your work would cater to like merch and album art quite a bit.
I've been doing quite a few kind of music events, artwork.
Like flag posters kind of?
Yeah. A bit of like EP, like album artwork.
Okay.
Quite a lot of different things really. I've been doing like some social media kind of templates for this brand. Kind of anything that my art would fit into and like where it would have a function. That's the kind of stuff I get really.
Yeah. And have you found that people are like coming to you for a specific style that you work in, or is it kind of like whatever you're doing at the moment people come for?
I mean, yeah, those are the dream clients where they're like, hey, you see this Instagram post? We love it. Can you make one like that for us? And you just go, yep. And then do it. And they're like, love it. Yeah. But yeah, usually pretty much all my clients come through Instagram. And they'll like send me some stuff that they like and they want something similar to it. So that's nice because it's like, I'm kind of catering. I'm basically putting out what I like to do as what I offer as a service, and it seems to be coming back in the form of work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And it's good I like working outside of like my comfort zone as well. But when you do get something that's like,
yeah, it's nice to do both.
The reference is so like, you already know what you're going to do. And it's just like, bam, 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 no revisions, no nothing.
It's so, like, they're the best. It's so great when you get a client and they're like, hey, we just like something exactly like this. And you go, all right, cool. And then like the next day you just do it, send it over, and they go, we love it. Here's paid the invoice. You're just like, great.
My
I just
favorite
basically
is
got
like,
paid to make an Instagram post.
I've been working with actually, I don't want to talk about it. It's still going on, so I'll talk about it later. But this other time I worked with a client too, way back in the day, not the one I'm working with right now or anything. And
don't bitch about a client you currently got.
It was like, this is the best thing, like, yes. And then it's always like, but what about this? Like, they're like, it's done, but can you do like can we just see, like, just to know that we don't want this version?
Oh my God.
I'm like,
don't get me started on that. Do you think it would look better if this? Could you just do it all? And then you do it all, and then they go, yeah, I think we preferred it how it was before.
Yeah. Or if it's like custom like type and it's like integrated into this big thing, and they're like, can you just change the word? And you're like, that's not even a word anymore. It's like a fucking shape that doesn't exist.
Oh my God. The worst one is when you send them the full design, it's done. Mm-hmm. You send them the design, you go, what do you think? And they go, we love the direction. And you're like,
but it's like,
no, that's it. I've done it.
Yeah.
What do you mean direction? That's the completed design.
It's a good start.
What do you think? It's a good start. It's a good end, please.
We like where your head's at, kid.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It sucks because one thing I've learned the best thing possible to do, and I'll stand by this, is please, like, if you're gonna get a new client, like, talk to them on the phone. Like, that will.
It does help.
Versus just messaging, like, that can turn, 5 hours of like you trying to figure out what they actually want into a 5-minute call.
Of email conversations. Like,
it's
seriously.
so much better. You get, because when you talk to someone, they'll mention things that they didn't think mattered. Like, they'll just be like, oh yeah, make sure don't use any green, orange, or blue.
Yeah.
And you're like, why didn't you say that? And they're just like, oh, I just thought of it. And it's like, okay, well, good thing we're here because
do you know what you want?
Yeah. So that's a good thing. I think just communicating, like, I think the issue why there's so much resentment between like creative freelancers and clients is neither of them know what's going on in each like situation, and the resentment happens when they're not on the same page and they think one person's it's all just miscommunication for the most part. And if you can just like, and we're all just human beings, one person's moving around
every time
pictures.
I email a client, it's just people moving around pictures and figuring out and hoping that that's what you wanted. Every time I email a client now, before we decided on a price or sent a contract, anything, I'll just be like, right, can you tell me exactly what you want? And I can let you know if it's going to be possible.
Right.
And then based on what they reply, I'll just have like 5 other questions. Like, I just don't settle on a price. I don't agree to anything until we've had like a decent length conversation about what exactly it is that they need. Because if you just go, can we have a cover like this? It's not enough. Sometimes it's enough though. And that's what gets you, because you think you know enough. And then it turns out they didn't even tell you what they wanted, basically.
Right. Sometimes I get clients too where they come to me and they want something that is like, I've never done anything like it. It's like, it's going to be like a learning curve for me. And I'm not like mad, and I'm not like, I used to get like embarrassed. Like, I'm supposed to know how to do everything. I'm supposed to know how to paint, like 3D, like everything, motion. But then I think to myself, they've seen my work, like, what, I don't know why they would think that this thing is something that I specialize in when I've never ever like had any
weird.
clients or shared anything about that. Like I don't know how. It's like someone comes to me and they're like, and you can like program this website or whatever too, right? And I'm like, no, not at all. Never done that.
No.
And it's just weird. Like,
no, I can't.
It's like you go to like a sandwich shop and you're like, I love all these sandwiches, but you can make pizza too, right? And they're just like, I guess we can, but it's not going to be as good.
Can I get any food?
Yeah. That's kind of how I think it's looked at. And
it is.
I think the reason like these like very first world like client complaining problems we're talking about, I think the reason, I think that's the reason. One thing I wanted to bring up is why so many people ran to like the NFT thing. They were like, I'll never have to work with clients again. You know, I can just sell art. And how now that it's kind of gone and came and the people that really solidified themselves are still in it, how do you kind of feel about that whole like industry or whatever you want to call it?
I mean, I think NFT is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they're a cool new thing that, I mean, they had a huge amount of hype around them. They still do have quite a lot of hype around them with all these famous people.
You've done like decent with it, right? A decent.
I've done okay. I've sold a few here and there. Yeah. I've sold like a few for like 0.1 of an ETH. So yeah, I've made some money. I mean, I've still just got it all in ETH. Because
to the moon.
I mean, I have other crypto, so I just figured I'd just add it to that.
Yeah.
To the moon, exactly. I think it's really cool, and I think anyone that wants to get involved in it should, as long as they. I was saying this to someone the other day. If you should kind of treat it like you should treat gambling. If you've got money you're willing to lose, then go ahead and mint some NFTs. But there's no guarantee you're getting that money back. But if you want to take part, it's going to cost you money that you might never get back. And if you're happy with that, then go ahead, get involved.
It's also kind of
like the way I think about it.
An investment in the sense of like, you're not going to lose money technically. Like it's still going to just exist in that, tied up in that thing.
True.
But you may not get any in return. So that's what you have to look at it like.
It's like technically you still have the money, or maybe because you have this thing that is valued at this, but unless someone buys it, is it really worth that?
Right.
There's nothing to prove that it's worth that until it's had a purchase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what's weird about the whole thing is it's all based off like perceived value. It's not about like how good the thing is. It's about who made it, when they made it, like what the, like if it's like a series, like every day you see a new, like these are like monkeys or whatever, like, and it's like 500 little characters or something.
Like generated being.
The new like punks or whatever.
Thing. Yeah. Punks are selling for ridiculous amounts at the moment. Have you seen?
Yeah, it's been going up forever, pretty much, right?
It's insane. It's insane how much they're selling for. I don't really get that kind of side of it, to be honest. But it's just like, collectibles, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the same way where people are like, you paid that much for those shoes or those baseball cards or whatever.
Yeah, I would say about NFTs that I think it's amazing that in the way that physical artists have had for forever a way to have a one-of-one piece that they've created, that now digital artists can have that same opportunity. Because how can a 3D artist make a one-of-one before NFTs? You just make a print and you can print it, like you just print one. It's not the same, is it really? Because it wasn't like a painting is like there's only one.
Right.
Whereas now that you can have a digital one-of-one, I think it's very cool for people that consider themselves digital artists that have been doing it for all this time and not been able to kind of make artist money in the way that physical artists do, and now they can. I think that is cool.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
True. Also for like stuff that moves, like anything motion or animation, you were never able to make a original of that because
it's just a file.
To my knowledge, you can't print like animation. Well, I don't know.
You can make like a flip book with like all the different all the frames.
Oh god, yeah, that would suck.
That'd be kind of cool.
One of those big sketchpad ones though. You're like,
they're like ridiculous. It's like an industrial sized flip book.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We should make one of those. What where did you get the idea for the, I guess not where, but like more I'm interested how it's been for like your community and stuff with that wordplay thing. Like what, can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, I just, I wanted to do, well, when I was, I don't want to like brag, but when my account was smaller and I was always looking for a way to get my work featured somewhere, because you wanted more eyes on it. That's so valuable to you when you're trying to grow an Instagram account. And once I had an Instagram account that had a lot of eyes on it, I thought it'd be nice to make a way in which people that follow me can have a chance to have their work featured, and people, all my followers have a look at it. To be fair though, I have changed it now so that now it's the live competition that we do on stream. And then okay. So basically I just thought, what do I basically just took what I do with my Instagram posts and made it a competition. It was just pick a random word.
Yeah.
And then I added like, and then I'll pick so I'll choose a word, I'll choose a color palette, and everyone has to use that word and color palette and make something, and then I'll just choose my favorite to win.
That's like something. On Elliot's Twitch, he does this like design chef thing sometimes where it'll be like make a merch design for like, you know, a meme or whatever the thing is, and like some of them are like his shit's so big though it takes like 2 hours to go through each one.
Yeah, I did my first live one last Wednesday. I don't know when this is coming out, so I'll just say last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had like, I think I want to say like 5 or 6 people took part, but like it was fun.
That's still cool.
It was
though,
like,
right?
It was still really cool to sit there on the stream, give everyone like a kind of little brief, and then I made one as well on stream, and was just chatting to other people. Like we were like chatting about how each other's designs were going. Someone like computer crash when they were rendering.
Yeah.
Another one, and then he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna make it on my phone."
Yeah.
And someone submitted a design which was just a picture of the color palette and then the word written in Comic Sans.
Yeah.
Like it was
good.
fun. It's good fun to do it live. 'Cause it feels more genuine. To be able to directly talk to every single person that submitted something with my face shown and give my honest opinion and actually talk about it, instead of kind of just like it and comment saying really cool. You know, it's not as meaningful.
Yeah, and like just, you know, tone of voice and like what you're actually looking at, like while looking at it, like it's more genuine and everything. And that's cool, and it gives you like, that's a good idea for something that actually is like an activity. Like people keep telling me to stream because everyone seems to be like streaming now. And
you should.
I'm just like, I don't know what to do though. Like everyone's like, just design, like fuck around. But I've tried that and like, though. It's not very, I don't know, like some people have been doing it well and other people, it's like, I don't know, like to me, it's like, if I'm like, as a viewer, to me, if there's no like engaged activity, I can only watch it for so long. So I'm feeling that from my end. Like if I were to do it, will this even be entertaining, you know? Cause you have to either give someone value or entertain them. That's the two, like learn or entertain, I feel like. Yeah,
I feel like there's two types of people that watch Twitch streams. There's the people that are just kind of there to have it on in the background because it's something they're interested in. And I love all those people. They're great. They just up my view account. They don't say anything in chat. They just sit there and watch. As soon as it's on, they just open it and leave it there. And
right.
I don't know. I don't even know if they're watching it. They just have it open in a tab. And then you have the other group of people that they come to engage with you and they want to talk and they want to make suggestions about the design you're making. And those people are great as well. But yeah, it is definitely good. I like having the streams where I'll just make some stuff on my Instagram with everyone chatting, and they'll have like I'll be like stuck on what font to use, or like I'll be like torn between, do I want it to be this colorway or this colorway, and I can like make a poll and people can decide, and I'll just choose and I'll go with whatever everyone else is thinking about, and it's cool. So it's somewhat engaging. Sometimes though it does get a bit dry, and I'm a bit like sitting there like just staring, scrolling through fonts silently, and they go, "Oh shit, there's people here. I need to talk."
Yeah.
But the challenge is good. The challenge is good because it is literally just like, right, everyone go, and everyone's doing their own thing, and then we come together at the end and talk. So yeah, I think it, like you're saying, you can't just stream yourself making some stuff. You've got to be able to engage and keep talking.
I feel like you have to be like a celebrity or something just to stream and do whatever you want, because people are there for the idea of you know?
Yeah. Like, you have to bring something otherwise. What
a life to just be able to stream like just chatting, you know, and like all you do is like the chat's so heavy that all you can do is just answer questions the whole time and sit there.
Yeah. I think I don't think I would like it if my chat was that heavy, because I like being able to read every single message and respond.
It's too fast. It's like they have to pay $100.
It's not even a chat. It's just spam.
Yeah, you got to start we got to get the designers to start the bathtub streams and put the hot tub streams.
I was actually thinking of next, for mine and Jack's next Q&A, creating a HUD, like a layout with our face cams that was like in a bathtub, and I'll put our face cams above it for the whole Q&A.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think you'd get a lot of random people clicking on that already been like interested.
I feel like that might be quite a good idea.
Yeah, that'll probably have happened by the time this comes out. So if it did happen,
I mean, I might not do it. I might be.
Now you have to now.
Okay, I'll do it.
It's solidified. It's in your.
If I haven't done it by the time this comes out, I'll do it the next time.
Okay.
Because then I'll be held to it.
Do you have any? One last thing I kind of wanted to ask you is, do you have anything kind of planned upcoming for Instagram, Twitch, anything else?
I've got I say planned. I'm a little bit shit at like actually planning, but I've got some merch that I want to drop. I want to drop a t-shirt design. I just haven't got around to figuring out all the logistics behind it. If I want to order in stock, like I don't know if there's a demand for it, so I'm a bit scared to buy stock in case none of it sells. So I might do it as a pre-order for the first one. But yeah, I would say I'll plug my Twitch. If anyone wants to watch me stream, I stream a few times a week, doing design stuff and doing the design challenge we were talking about. Foxrockett Studio, the same as my Instagram. Yeah, that's it really. Merch coming out at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have. I don't know. I know a lot more people that have less like following than you that definitely have enough people interested in things they sell. So I think you'd be fine if you did a little bit of pre-order, or you could do a pre-order to be safe, but I don't think if you bought it, as long as you didn't buy like thousands, I think you'd be fine, you know?
I want to buy thousands.
Oh, okay. Then you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Yeah, no, do it though. Hopefully you do that. I think that'll be cool. And check out Tyler's Instagram. It's Foxrockett Studio also, right?
Yeah.
And then on Twitch, all that. And if you want to hear more, head over to the Patreon. We're going to do the Q&A. But other than that, I appreciate you coming on, chatting with me.
Yeah,
man.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been really fun. I feel like it's gone a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't think I'd have anything to say. So, yeah.
No, once you get on the spot, you got to come up with something, you know?
It's like, shit, I got to say stuff.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Peace out. See you next time.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.